Let's have a look in this session at the doseBadge wand, or remote as we sometimes call it. And this is it here. So this is an optional device that you can purchase. We developed this because even though most people will use the DB Active app on their phone to connect to the doseBadges when they're in the field, we recognise that a number of sites don't allow mobile phones on site for various reasons. So we developed this as an alternative to actually connect to these devices, to the doseBadge5s, and to be able to make some general settings, start and stop, and look at some results. So this is the wand. It takes two AAA batteries in the back, which last quite a long time. And let's just get started and have a look. So all you do is press the central button to turn it on, and it'll come up there with the Cirrus Research logo, and the next thing you'll see is a couple of options. And what it's trying to do now is it's going to try to search for any particular doseBadges that it finds in its vicinity. So it's found the three that are here. So I'll just pick the top one and just press the center button to connect to it. And it'll attempt to connect, and it says it's connected. So while it's connected, I've got a number of options. The first option is measure. So from that, if I press the center button, then I can either start or stop it. And you can see that the only one that's highlighted at the moment is the green arrow, which indicates I press the left-hand arrow on here to start the device. And it's telling me the measurements started. So while that's started, it's actually now measuring at the moment. And what I can do is I can have a look at some of the other options while that's measuring. You can see the little flashing arrow at the top of the screen, which tells me this particular doseBadge5 that I'm connected to is actually measuring. So if I go to the right, I can read the values. So it's going to tell me the actual current values for that measurement. So let's have a go at that. Let's press read. So it's reading the values, and you can see the date, the time. It's been running for 32 seconds. If I press the right, so you can see how long it's been measuring for. If I go to the right, it's showing me the current average noise level, 51.7. If I go to the right again, maximum values, peak values, calibration information, etc., etc. So that's a great way of connecting to a device and having a quick look to see what the current level is. And that's pretty useful, because if you're out there, you've got a bunch of people been doing their work for a few hours, you can be in Bluetooth range, which is up to about 10 meters or so, and you can just use the wand, find a doseBadge, connect to it, and see what the current reading is. Then you can give some advice maybe to people to say, well, you know, why is it so loud? What have you been doing, etc., etc. So if I press the central button, it takes me back to the menu options again. It allows me to review, if I click on that, any data that I've already collected in here. If I go back again, I can go on to the status of the particular doseBadge that I'm connected to. If I hit on that, it tells me there's 100% battery, which is great. Lots of memory left. It tells me the serial number, what model it is, calibration information, etc., etc. Current state, date and time. So that's me connected to a doseBadge. If I go to the right again, we can see various settings on the doseBadge. So you can change the clock time, you can change the timers, you can clear the memory, you can do a number of things. And again, I can even change the settings on the wand if I want to. So if I click on settings here, I can change the clock in this particular device, I can change its language, I can change what it displays, I can even see what it's about, or I can go back. Again, keep going to the right, I can disconnect from this particular badge. So if I click on disconnect, I'm now disconnected from it. And now what I can do, I can press connect again to go and find another badge to connect to. So let's pick up the, say, 2975. The different badge I'm connected to this time. There it is, we're connected. And this one's measuring. So if I go click into measure, I can now stop it by pressing the right arrow that relates to that what's on the screen here. And if I go along to read, I can look at the data. So we've had a measurement for 17 seconds, and you can use the arrow keys and go through all of the different information. It just loops through from one page to another. So it's a fairly simple and straightforward device. Press the middle button to go back to the main menu. Fairly straightforward device, but it allows you to connect to a badge, start and stop it, review the data that's in there. If there's multiple measurements, you can review the data from multiple measurements that are in there. And you can also change some of the settings as well on the doseBadge. But you know, it's a really quick and easy way of connecting to a badge, looking at the information, starting and stopping, as I've said. So if you're not happy using a mobile phone app, the DB Active app, and this is an additional option you can get to actually connect to your doseBadge devices.